Hi, I'm Annie Oldenburg, Director of ArtSpace Gallery at Black Hawk College. I'm here with Nicole Davis to talk about her exhibition, Let the Circle Be Unbroken.
Let the Circle Be Unbroken really comes from the idea of being connected to my ancestors, being connected to my family in the present, and being connected to, the people who will be of my blood in the future. And so I choose to kind of use that as a theme for the work that I do, because it really provides me with grounding, and also allows me to kind of bring forth history that has been ignored or erased, and just kind of take up space and be present and acknowledge the history that I come from. I started with textiles because I became a little disillusioned with painting, and I decided to kind of go back to what I feel is within me. And so I grew up with people who did handwork, so sewing, embroidering, crocheting, knitting, and I kind of went back to that idea. I started sewing. I taught myself how to sew a few summers ago. I borrowed a sewing machine from the sculpture department and spent the summer teaching myself how to sew, and just that's pretty much kind of how it started. I source material from thrift stores, from people who, are getting rid of things and give them to me. I feel like Black people have survived by taking nothing and making something out of it. I don't know, I really admire that skill, and that's something that is important to me, and I also feel like it serves as a metaphor. So there's these things that are cast away, and I think that also speaks to the way our society casts people aside. And so my goal is to reclaim those things that are cast aside and bring them to the forefront, to kind of pull them from the margin and highlight them and let them take up space. When I'm choosing fabrics, it's really kind of a combination of intuitive kind of work. There's certain things that I'm just drawn to that I pick up, and then I realize later that, my aunt had a blouse that was similar to that pattern, or my grandmother's wallpaper in her house growing up was similar to this piece of fabric. And then I also use formal qualities, like I love texture. I love color, I love pattern, and so those things also play a role in the materials that I source. It's important to rescue these things and to highlight the beauty of them. Some of the artists that I'm influenced by are the quilters of Gee's Bend, and I really like the fact that they can take these discarded things and create these beautiful textiles out of them, that are functional but also are works of art. Sam Gilliam, the way that he hangs his paintings, the way he kind of took the canvas off of the structures and the drapings and things like that he does, I think are really beautiful. Once a piece is finished, it's done for the time being. I tend to, though, revisit pieces. Some of the pieces that are in Let the Circle Be Unbroken started out as other pieces, that were then kind of recycled. I feel like the more that I work with fabric, the more that I learn, the more that my work evolves and changes. I like to try new things. I like to tinker. And so things tend to evolve. One of the things that I would really like to get back to is screen printing and monoprinting on fabric. to come up with some of my own textures to mix in with the other fabrics, which some of the pieces in this show do, but I'd like to explore that more. And then just playing around with ways to manipulate fabric, ways to create volume with fabric, ways to embody people and spirits within fabric. So those are things that I'm looking forward to trying and to doing.